Hey folks, well, just as the video title says, I'm just here to grab some footage for making tutorial videos. So, let's hop to it. A little bit of gaming, a little bit of video making. Once I'm done grabbing the footage that I find satisfactory, I'll probably run some missions. Try to make the space bucks, because I gave away quite a bit of my money to help out another player, which I don't mind one bit. It's for a good cause. So I won't be kicking on the music anytime soon. I'll just be grabbing footage so I can use the footage for I'll just you'll see. I don't have Discord up, but I see in the comments there, I see you watching my stream. So I'll just go ahead and kind of explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Hopefully I'm a little more articulate in the next 3 or 5 minutes. Let's get to it. All right. What a beautiful day. All right, guys. First things first, welcome to Star Citizen. You'll start off either at a hangar or in an apartment of some sort. F12 is your best friend. It brings up and puts down the global chat. Click, 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 click. All right, you get the point. I'm going to keep it off because, quite frankly, a lot of people say dumb stuff in the global chat, and I have very little patience or tolerance for that. So, hold down the F button, point and click. Now, if it's your first login with the new patch, they will start you off in the hangar. But when you return, you start off in the bedroom of whatever station or outpost or whatever you're at. Or if you bed log in your ship, you'll start in the bed in your ship. Top left hand corner of the screen is the mini-map that helps you navigate unfamiliar areas. Now, let's go ahead and call up our ship. Here's a little thing you can do. If you want to talk to other people and you have a microphone, hold left alt and the plus sign on your numpad and commence silliness. Ho ho! Oh boy, boys and girls! Welcome to this Mickey Mouse Club of a game. Ho ho! Sometimes people react, sometimes they don't. But either way. Why, hello there. Nice to meet you. You have a snazzy looking outfit. Ah yes, emotes. And the universal greeting. Crouch button. Letter C.
Welcome.
All right.
Vehicle retrieval system.
I know I have a bit of a list of ships. I never said I made good choices. But let's bring up my personal favorite, the Drake Cutlass Black. And retrieve.
Welcome to the ASOP.
But before I hit, let's go over the information of ships when you're at the terminal. Vehicle name, information, basically it's status. It's deliverable, stored here. And it tells you what location that ship is at. You don't see anything. Focus. Cargo. Up to 3. Retrieve.
Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Medium hangar. Let's take the elevator. Alright, holding F, scrolling up and down on the mouse wheel. Medium. Now, As soon as you step off that elevator, you can draw your weapon. Because you're outside of an armistice zone. Sometimes you get tailgaters. Players are the most unpredictable thing in this game. That and the cargo elevators. Alright. Now, let's talk about some glitches. This game is in alpha, as you can see. It is also in developmental hell. You're going to see all sorts of weird stuff as you play this game. There we go. Now, I should have a clear path to take off. Before I hop into my ship, let's go over a few critical things about the hangar. Here's another ship terminal where you can call up your ships or ground vehicles. And personal storage. Right now, let's unselect. You can select things out by category. Ammunition. I'm going to grab some additional rounds for my rifle. Substance, aka food. We need a snaggle snack. Should also find some drinks along the way. Hydration is important. We're going to grab some snaggle bars or steaks. And you can go into further detail and go by subcategory. Scroll up and down on the mouse wheel and clear it. Alright. Now let's talk about a little something known as the cargo elevator. There's usually 2 of them in medium hangars or bigger. In small hangars, there's generally just 1, depending on the location where you're at. Freight Manager. Here's the terminal you use. You can put your small, loose knickknacks on the cargo elevator. I just sent cargo elevator down. Now, if I want, I can select things to put on the cargo elevator and send it up. Why don't we put the max lift? Now, this also applies to cargo containers of specific commodities or self-storage stuff. I'm going to go ahead and grab this and equip it. Now, sometimes a little glitchy. And sometimes you just can't touch the damn thing because it's crazy like that. We'll just send it back down. And well, just forget about it. Click here. Lower the elevator. And it should be back in my inventory. Alright. Let's enter our ship. Well, my ship. This is a Drake Cutlass Black. You enter it through the drop ramp. Now, depending on the terrain where you land, always close your door behind you. That way nobody follows you into your own ship. Cutlass Black is a great multi-use ship, multi-purpose. Beds for logging out in, 2 of them. Turret for a turret gunner. Co-pilot seat and main pilot seat. Alright, let's talk about some ship controls and stuff before we take off. Okay. Right Alt and the letter R for flight ready. Or you can point and click until you find the appropriate button for whichever ship you're flying. Okay, these little screens are called MFDs. And you can cycle them through different modes. Always check your power setting before you take off. Make sure all of your power is distributed every way you need it. Scroll up and down on the mouse and it will show you the complete list. Alright. One other important setting you should consider before taking off is to set the number of countermeasures you have active in case somebody wants to shoot missiles at you as soon as you leave the hangar. It's not that uncommon. I already have the hotkey set to my joysticks. Now I've set the number of countermeasures fired to 4. Now, there are a few different ways to request the hangar to be open so you can take off. First option is hit F11, brings up the computer, select Friends, Everest Harbor, not cargo. That's the name of the space station I'm at. Every other place will have a different name. And I can press this button and it will request. Or, alternatively, I can change one of my MFDs to the Communications tab and press the button there under Hail. But I don't really like doing it that way. I like to be efficient. So I'm going to use the hotkey, left Alt and the letter N. Well, that did not go the way I expected. Let's grab another ship. It looks like today the game does not want to cooperate.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been
Let's try this
delivered to
again,
your
shall
location.
we? There she is. There's my ship. All right, let's get in our ship. Just another day in Star Citizen. It has got more bugs than Starship Troopers. You are going to learn incredible skills and patience playing this game. You will either be zen or you will go insane. Perhaps a little bit of both. Alright, enter the ship seat. Okay. Make sure your engines are on. Make sure your power is assigned the way that you need it. Left Alt and N to please request that hangar opening. Okay, looks like today there is a queue. I have to wait. Let's talk about camera control while we wait. You hit F4. Now, you can hold down the letter Z and wiggle your mouse and see how it moves the camera. Ooh, this is fun. Alright. So as I was saying earlier, the ship that I'm taking out is a Drake Cutlass Black. I have the special green skin that you buy from the store around Halloween. It's called Spooky Green. So I'm holding down the letter Z and I'm using my mouse to pan the camera. Now, what I can do is hold down the F4 button, and on the numpad, I press 1. That sets this camera angle to the number 1. I press F4 and number 1. And the game promptly makes a liar out of me. Alright, hold down F4. Your arrow keys on your keyboard, down arrow, pans the camera out. Holding Z, move your mouse. Press 2. Here we go, 1, 2. Alright, enough of that, we'll get more into it. Press F4 to return to your cockpit screen. Oh, it's telling me my queue has now moved to place 1. Estimated wait, 100 seconds or less. I'm a pretty impatient person. I'm going to hit the hotkey again, Alt and N. Now, I can hold Shift. What is that racket? Holding down F. Something is bumping the hangar door. I don't know what it is. Oh, there we go. So if you hold F, you can turn your head, look around. Wherever that cursor is, your character is going to press those buttons. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the MFDs, the radar, the interface. For the Cutlass Black, this is showing my current speed, which is 0, because I'm still parked on the flight deck. Left engine, right engine. That little white line means how much boost power is in each engine. Here's my radar. This is the degrees as if on a compass that I am facing. Now, coupled mode, VTOL mode, which is unique to the Cutlass and other ships. This shows my landing gear is on. G-Safe, we need to turn that off. What button did I have that on? G-Force cylinder, I can't remember. I need to turn that off so I can push the ship's maneuverability to its maximum. But either way, the hangar door is now open. I am clear to exit. So I'm going to press F4 to go to the external camera. Spacebar is strafe up. Alright, we are now out of the hangar. Press the letter N to deal with the landing gear. Hangar C. Alright, sweetness. Okay, Star Citizen has what is known as 6 degrees of movement. Pitch, that's pointing your nose up and down. Yaw, pointing your nose left and right. Ooh, this is intense stuff. Now you have the roll command. Roll left and roll right. Ooh. Okay. Now, it also has something else. I have what's known as strafe control. And let me bring the camera angle out. I have strafe command to my left joystick, strafe right, strafe left. But if I push forward, I have strafe down. Now, the strafe with the most power is strafe up. For you keyboard warriors, that would be the space bar. So, flying and maneuvering is a combination of forward boost, reverse, and a combination of any of those other things I've just talked about. So let's fly around Everest Harbor for a moment while we talk about characteristics of flight. Now, these skills I am going over is universal across all ships in the game. Doesn't matter what ship you're flying. These are commands and abilities every single ship has got. And I'm going to show you a few flight drills that will help you fly with a little more control and precision, regardless of whatever ship you're flying. Here is one of the most basic drills you can do as a new pilot. One of the most important skills you need to learn to develop is orbiting around a target while keeping your nose pointed at said target or object. For example, you see that bright red light that's part of the station? I'm going to use that as my object of focus. Now I'm going to hit the F4 button to return to the cockpit view. Alright. So, 6 degrees of movements, forward and reverse. Let's review. Pitch, pointing your nose up and down. Yaw, pointing your nose and turn your ship left and right. Then you have the roll command. Left and right. Easy peasy. Now, here's a little detail you need to keep in mind. The ship is engaged in what's known as coupled mode. I'm going to do the first drill while ship is in coupled mode. And I'm going to explain the difference between coupled and uncoupled. Here's your first maneuvering drill. Keep your target reticle on an object. Slowly move forward towards it. Hit the up strafe button while pointing your nose down. Keep your target reticle on the object. Now, as your skill gets better, you can do this closer to the object at higher speeds. If you can't get this close, you're further away, that's fine. You do what you can do and worry about challenging yourself and getting better. This is the first maneuvering drill. The second is down strafe. And keeping your nose up. So now I'm pressing down on the strafe while pulling back on the throttle. And then I'm working with my forward and backward throttle to keep the shiny light in my crosshairs at a consistent distance. As you get better, you can get closer to the object while moving faster. Take about 2 or 3 minutes getting the feel from it, trying to increase your speed, getting closer. And that's the first drill. Okay. Drill number 2. You guessed it. Yaw in one direction while pointing your nose at the target and forward on the thrust. And just try to keep the object at a consistent distance. This is just a basic maneuvering skill. And when you get comfortable with it, you're starting to get a little faster, a little better. Reverse the direction. Now I'm going to strafe right while pointing my nose left. And then bid on the forward thrust. Just trying to keep this at a consistent distance. Don't worry about speed, worry about keeping the object in question at a consistent distance. See, I can't quite keep it in my target reticle, so I gotta slow down. But as I get better, I can do this quicker. Obviously, some ships are faster than others and more maneuverable. You'll be able to find the limitations of what your ship can and cannot do this way. This is a good way to assess the maneuverability and handling of your ship. Okay, now, coupled and decoupled mode. My ship is currently engaged in coupled mode, which means as I'm applying forward thrust, if I pull up, the ship will automatically try to go where I'm pointed with whatever thrust I've got. But, like, the ship will fire all the thrusters to automatically compensate to get me on that track. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it off. Now, it's still in coupled mode. I've stopped all the thrust on my engine. My ship will automatically work to slow itself down to 0. There we go. Down to 0. Now, let's turn off coupled mode. Every ship has a different indicator. Now, this is what happens. I am facing this way. I push forward on the forward thrust. Now I'm going to let off the throttle. I'm just gliding. Now, this object here on your screen indicates the direction of your travel. Not your crosshairs. That's just where your nose and guns are pointed at. But this indicates your ship's directions of travel. Now, I'm still drifting because I'm in decoupled. And I am drifting away from the space station slowly because I didn't put a lot of throttle. This thing indicates the opposite of direction of travel. All right. Now, let's put some thrust in. I'm going to show you some. Okay, I'm going to go maximum speed. While I'm in decoupled, maximum. Now I let go of the thrust. Doesn't matter what I'm doing with pitch, yaw, and roll. It doesn't change the direction my ship is traveling one bit. It's just changing the way my ship is pointed, but I'm still moving in a certain direction. See? I'm just going to drift right by the base. And because I made sure not to point my nose at anything, I'm not going to crash into anything. Alright. Just kidding. My joysticks are a bit busted up. Keep track of your joysticks. So let's try this again in a different ship. Since it's going to take a while for my cutlass to come back. Or I could just pull out the medical cutlass. I'll pull out the medical cutlass. And that was an example of crashing. You don't want to do that. So, you saw me die and respawn. You're going to do that a lot in this game. You'll show up on a medical bed. Now, if you're away from your home station and you want to clear the medical bed from the station you're currently at, you can just say reset location. And in my case, I will be set back to Area 18 as my default location. But I want to hang out here at Everest Harbor for the next while, so I'm not going to change this. When you die, they do generally give you this and this, because in the old patches, when you die, you lose all your stuff. But in recent patches, they let you keep your stuff. I don't know why, at least most of your stuff. You will lose the contents of your... No! They let you keep the stuff in your backpack. I think that's because I died next to the station. I have my spawn point in. But if you die away from the station where your spawn point is set, you'll keep everything you're equipped with, but you'll lose the contents of your container. If that makes sense. Alright. People are talking stupid stuff on the global chat, so F12 is my friend. I really don't care about different orgs and people talking about other orgs in the game. I'm here to do my own thing and have fun. So let's try this again, but with the other cutlass, with the medical. Now, when your ship goes boom, this is how you call it back. I crashed my cutlass into the side of the station like a doofus. It'll show you info. Destroyed. Claim? Yeah.
Your insurance claim
There we
has
go.
been sent.
So, in about 10-ish minutes, it'll be back here, ready to go. Let's call up my other cutlass, the red.
Vehicle selected.
Let's continue
Stand by.
this
Your vehicle
flight
has been
tutorial.
delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
And I will start again with explaining coupled versus decoupled flight. And I will try not to crash my ship into the side of the station like a doofus. Alright, we are back. This is the Cutlass Red. It is the medical variant of the Cutlass. I like it. I like to do search and rescue every once in a while. And this ship is just perfect for it. There are other medical ships in the game that you would probably prefer to the Cutlass, but I am a Drake fan. So, now that my biases are out of the way. Always close your damn door behind you. You never know. Players know how to glitch and get into hangars, and they will follow you on your ship and murk you. And take your ship because they can, and because it's funny. I have done it to other people, so I can't get mad if somebody does it to me. It would be karma. Alright, same drill as the other ship. Right Alt and the letter R to boot it up with everything. And make sure your power is distributed the way you want it. I'm not really concerned about pew pew with a medical ship, so I'm going to put more power to the engines. Believe it or not, the Drake Cutlass series are pretty quick. Alt N. Okay, looks like I have to wait for the door to open. And here is the medical Cutlass. It's a beautiful ship, very useful. We'll just center the camera here. So moving the camera around, this will be the default position of the camera when you hit F4 to switch between first person view and third person view. Let's request that door. Looks like I just have to be patient, which I am not a very patient person. There we go. You just have to be patient sometimes. Whenever the station is busy with players, you get a waiting queue. It sucks. It's annoying, but what am I going to do? Cry about it? I totally could. Now, one fun thing about these medical ships, they've got the wee-woo lights. Let's turn them on. There we go. Because it's my party. And I'll fly if I want to. Okay. Now, my ship is flying incredibly slow. And you know why? Because I left my gear down. Let's fix that. There we go. Now it will fly faster. Okay. I've got the wee-woo lights on because I want to. Now, I'm gonna fly between some structures. Little fun fly. Now, the ship is currently in coupled mode. Now, let's pass through that again, but in decoupled mode. Let's disengage. And for funsies, let's back up a bit. Down strafe, see how I'm drifting down. Space brake. Manually stop. Full boost, and let's just spin sideways. Ooh, sideways. Ooh, ooh. Learning how to fly in decoupled is an important skill you should develop. It'll make the difference in a firefight, in a dogfight. And watch, I'm going to show you the same exact drill you do for learning the basics of decoupled flight. Hold on. Who the hey is shooting at me? Who freaking dares? Come here, you little turd. He wanted. All right. It's a dogfight. Ah, he left. Back to the tutorial. Alright, so learning the basics again. You come back to that same drill I talked about earlier. Alright, I've engaged coupled mode. Hitting the space brakes. Now, disengage coupled mode. Fly towards the point of interest. Hold on. That person came back and he is trying to start crap. He is going to die. I have the strict policy, if it's red, it's dead. Okay. Now, where was I? By the way, that was a player. I forgot to do the most important thing when killing hostile players and hostile NPCs. Let's talk about it. get to contracts. Go to the mercenary tab and grab a little something called Call to Arms. That's free money in your pouch I could have had. But that's okay. It was fun blowing up that guy anyway. That was a player. But he dead now. And I did more than soft death him, I hard deathed him, so there's probably nothing left to salvage from him. Alright, where was I? Oh yes. Oh look! The debris from his ship. Did he have anything good? Sometimes. Yeah, he had a ship gun. Did he have any cargo? I mean, I seriously doubt it survived. But, you know. Let's pop it open. Dude, is that cargo? Did he have cargo? He did have cargo. Okay. Yeah. Okay, because my controllers are a little bit screwy, I am going to go ahead and salvage his stuff. He was wanted. I killed him. He got killed in a lawful zone. He's probably in jail. That means his stuff is mine. Let's go salvage. This tutorial is going to be just as all over the place and unorganized as the one CIG made. I apologize for that right here and now. So, let's salvage some goodies. Yes, sir. He had one of those self-contained storage thingamabobs. What did he have? Ooh, ammo. Lots and lots of ammo. I'll take it. I'll take it. He had a lot of grenades. I love grenades. I love boom booms. Thank you. Thank you for those pineapples. I like boom booms. Also, I will check the global chat, see if he's salty. I'll say thank you for the grenades. Thank you for the grenades. You know who you are. Thank you very much. Okay. Close your door. Oh yeah. That felt good. Okay. Because that ship is close to the thing I want to orbit for flight practice, I should go pick something else. Because I could totally accidentally run into the debris from that ship. Because I am indeed accident prone. We will use this red marker here. Alright. Orbit drill, button decoupled. Approach. Start slow. Now I'm pulling up. I'm not putting any forward thrust at all. I'm just up strafing. I'm not pressing anything on my forward thrust. Now I'm applying the forward thrust. See if I can just orbit this. I'm down strafing and pulling up my nose. And I'm trying to find that sweet spot to apply forward thrust. It feels incredibly different orbiting an object in decoupled mode versus coupled. Take 5 minutes in coupled mode and then 5 minutes in decoupled mode, and you will feel the difference. This will help you learn how to pilot your ship exceptionally well. And same deal, decoupled, and it behaves differently. Just start slow and easy and you'll understand. So that's it for that. Okay, yeah, I like I said, I have a kill on red policy. I should have grabbed Call to Arms. That probably would have been really easy bounty money right there. Hindsight is 20/20. Okay. What else can I do for a little tutorial fun? Alright, let's talk about the 3 different speeds of flight. The speed when your landing gear is down is super duper slow, but it allows you for super precise movement when you are trying to land. Soon as you press the button to pull up your landing gear, you are now in proper SCM speed mode. This is the optimal speed versus being able to control your ship. In this flight mode, your shields are up and your weapons are armed and ready to fire. Now, let's talk about the 3rd flight mode. This is called nav mode. The hotkey on your keyboard is the letter B. Now, you see it saying spooling with a percentage. That is my quantum drive warming up, getting ready to go. I go ahead and point my nose at a destination I would like to go to. One hot tip. Planetary locations. You have to be close enough to the planet for you to go to the locations on the planet. They won't even necessarily show up until you're close to the planet. So let's go close to Hurston, and you will see a whole bunch of new signals for me to go to. Now I can go to many different locations around the planet Hurston. Let's go somewhere on the other side of the planet. This should, in theory, be on the day side of the planet. Let's go there. And now my ship is on autopilot. Not quite faster than light travel, but close to light speed. This is how you get around from station to planet, around planet locations, and from planet to moon, planet to planet, other locations within the solar system. And there we go. Let's fly to a location and let's talk about landing.
Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, I am still flying in nav mode. I am entering the planet's atmosphere. I am still flying very fast, but as I get into more thick atmosphere, I will get wind resistance and my ship will be slowed down. Some moons do not have an atmosphere, so you will be flying very fast in some of the moons. Be mindful of your speed. Now I'm pretty much close enough to that land location I want to go to. I'm going to shift back into SCM mode. Now my top speed is going down drastically, but I'm approaching the site that I want to go to. I want to control the speed of my approach so I don't go too ham on the throttle and too fast and crash into the dirt. Now I'm going to ease off on the throttle, and I'm going to pick which landing pad I want to go to. I want to go to this one. As I'm doing my final approach, I'm going to hit the letter N to drop my landing gear. It'll slow me down even more. And now it's just a nice, slow, easy landing. Now let's go to first person view. I want to show you something critical. These are showing the degrees by which the nose of my ship is tilted. So with the minus degrees, that means my nose is pointed to the ground. When the degrees, this means now my ship is level to the ground. So now it's just a matter of moving forward a bit and hit the down strafe. Nice, easy landing. And power down. That is pretty basic stuff. Now, if I feel like it, I can hop out of my ship, walk around this site, see if there's free stuff to loot. Whenever you're doing your business out and about and you're kind of low on inventory, sometimes there are white loot boxes that carry food, little gray cat tools. You know what? Take your time. Look around the site. Maybe there's stuff that you can buy. You can learn some of the trade routes because these are the planet locations where you buy cargo from. So let's talk about planet locations. You saw that I landed safely. I'm exiting my ship. Remember, close the door to your ship in case somebody is waiting to lurk to hijack your ship. Close your door. All right. We will talk about the different locations and types of buildings you'll see at this planetary type location. We'll talk about the different types of buildings and what they do. Okay, first building we are coming across. It is marked storage right here. This is where you go to buy and sell cargo. And also when you're doing the box missions, this is usually where you bring the box to. All right, cycle, close the outside door, open the inner door. All right, here's the terminal for buying and selling cargo. All right. This place has these two commodities for sale. If I want to buy, this is how I do it. I set my locations for the name of this location. Now I can select the size of boxes I want to buy my cargo in. This is a very important detail. You have to know what kind of ship you have in your own inventory, and you have to know the amount of cargo it can handle. For example, let's say I am flying a little ship known as a Pisces. Its grand total amount of cargo it can carry is 4 units. I can buy 4 1-unit cargo or 2 2-unit cargos for the grand total of 4 cargo. Now, I'm flying a Cutlass Red. I can only carry like 8 units of cargo total, but they're not the right shape. I can't get the big juicy 8 box. I have to stick to size 2 boxes. And I could buy 4 of those. And then I can stack them in the part of my ship just past the ramp. But I'm not going to do that today. This is just kind of for your own information. Know what ship you bring, the size of its cargo hold, and how much total it can carry. You will have to do the math in your own head yourself so you know what and how much you can buy and how much at a time. Now let's say I want to sell something. This tells you what they are willing to buy from you, the player. Okay? And you can sell to them. And that's kind of that for the terminal. When you're in this area, you want to look for loot boxes. That there is a white loot box. That is the lowest tier of loot box. But since my character is probably going to be hungry and thirsty, this is where you usually find the food drops. Flares are good to have. If you have to go into a complicated area, you can drop a flare on the ground to mark your path. So, grab a flare. They're useful. Here is the next tier of loot box, the red and black. This is where you usually find armor pieces and other higher tier loot. In this case, a medium armor and a light armor. Arm piece, medium armor, leg piece. I'm already equipped with the medium armor set that I want, so I'm just going to leave it be. But it's a good way to get free armor because armor is expensive. Alright, let's go to the next type of building for planetary sites. Okay. My ship is parked there. Let's find the next building, which is right over here. Okay. A habitation building. This is where people go to sleep. You will get loot boxes randomized. Sometimes there isn't even a loot box. It's a roll of the dice. Just take your time and look. Look here. So far, no loot boxes yet. Let's check the bedding area. A low tier loot box. Let's see what's in it. I actually need some drinks and food. Do not eat that. That's toxic. This is edible. It's good. It is food. Food is good. Now, sometimes this stuff can be sold at certain locations. So if you are a true loot goblin, go ahead and take it and go to an admin office at a space station or wherever and sell Heart of the Woods or whatever. Loot's randomized, the value, you never know. You kind of have to kind of figure it out as you go. So this time there is only one loot box in the habitation. I'm going to leave and go to the next building. Okay. Okay. So we went to storage, which is where you buy and sell cargo. We were just at habitation. Kind of follow the little walkways they make. That always leads you directly to the buildings. And somebody left their spaceship on the ground unattended. Alright. Mining control. This is where you will usually find a lot of loot boxes laying around. Now, the controls to the mining control are not available for the players to mess with, but this is a good place to just kind of walk through and look for loot boxes. Sometimes the mining control buildings have places where you drop cargo for package delivery missions. Low tier loot box there, low tier loot box there. I'm actually looking for drinks. And sometimes you can find them. Look at this. I just found a multi-tool. These things are great to have. So I'll keep it. Oh, sweet. I need that drink. Why don't we get the medical attachments for the multi-tool, because that's saving money. This is stuff that you can sell. I don't know its value. Don't ask. I don't know. But I don't feel like that much of a loot goblin today. I'm looking for things for my character. Low tier loot box usually has food, drink, multi-tool stuff. See? Multi-tool stuff. Ooh, a mining attachment. That is a great thing. Salvage attachment. More flares. This is stuff you can sell on the market. I don't know what their value is. I'm not really worried about that. But if you're a loot goblin, knock yourself out. Let's continue the search for loot boxes. The loot box search continues. There's a low tier loot box over here. Okay, another drink. Score. And flares. These are good, you know, for those new missions. You can light the flare and drop it. Mark your path. And another low tier loot box. Again, food, drink, free mining tools. This is reclaimed water, but this is much better. Reclaimed water is usually poisonous. Chocolate bars. I mean, my character is a lady after all, and she likes her chocolate. Alright. And that kind of does it for the mining control at the mining station. Sometimes they have a pickup drop-off point for delivering packages. This is background. Even though this is a useful item, it's not interactable, which means it's just part of the scenery. Alright, let's go to the last thing at most planetary locations, and that would be the vehicle spawn building. They have a very specific name, but before I go over there, let's take a look at this ship. Why did this Yahoo... Oh, I wonder. Uh-huh. Well, they did leave it locked, so I can't just walk in. But, ladies and gentlemen, the new L-21 Wolf by Sod Kruger. Not Sod Kruger. Yeah. Any whoosies. Alright. Now, not all locations have the vehicle spawn building, but most of them do. And it's usually a building that's off the beaten path by itself. So you kind of have to walk away from the other buildings to see it. It'll be marked with some blue on it. I am afraid I do not see that building. Ah, there it is. Right over there. So I will try to make an explanation video out of this. Now, some ships can be spawned on these pads. The 100i series ships can be. The M50, the 85X, the Furies, and the Pisces. Now, I know there's a couple ships I've missed that can also be called up, but those are the ones that come to my mind. I think there's a couple that I missed. Alright, in the vehicle spawn building, there is usually one loot box, and it's randomized. But looks like today, no dice. Here is the ground vehicle terminal.
Welcome to the
It'll have
ASOP
everything
vehicle
on the
retrieval
list that
system.
can be spawned on there. And yep, there we go. I did buy a Fury. Pulse is a bike. 85X M50. Alright. The Pisces is such a wonderful starter. It can be called in on those pads. So, if you want to go out for rock mining excursion,
Please visit
come to these places, call it in, load it on your ship, and go. All right. So that completes my explanation for these. Oh, nearly completes it. Let's talk about the cargo elevators. Alright, when you buy your cargo from the planetary location, you come here. I haven't bought a darn thing, so there's not a darn thing in the warehouse waiting. So, yeah, no contents to load. But this is where you would work it. You'd select. This tells you how many SCUs worth of cargo can be loaded on the elevator at a time. 120 units of SCU. If it exceeds it, you'll get an error. Otherwise, you can load it and bring the elevator up. I don't have anything on the elevator, but this is where it would go. Land your ship close to the elevator, load and unload as you need. And if you were having a mission that requires you to bring cargo to the planetary location, that's where you would unload. Pay attention to the screen. It tells you how much cargo you can unload in there and send down at a time. Each location is different. Some have bigger cargo elevators, but for the most part, it's only 120 units at a time. And that's kind of my explanation for these little ground locations. Each one is slightly different in terms of layout, but a lot of the gist of the basic buildings are the same. But this is a mining location. There are research and development sites. There are other kinds of sites, and each one is a little different. It's up to you to learn. Let's fire up the Cutlass. All right. Let's talk about VTOL engines. These are exclusive to certain ships. A lot of your industrial ships have them, like the Prospector. The majority of your mining ships have what's known as VTOL engines. I'm going to press the letter K and you're going to see my engines swivel, which means now it's going to have an incredible amount of power on the upstrafe. I'm going to take off from the ground, pull up my landing gear. Watch what happens when I boost up. And I'm going to hit the space bar and the boost button. Whee! Now, let's reset. You saw how fast that was. Now, I'm going to show you the difference. What if the engines were in standard configuration? Okay, I'm holding down the boost button and the upstrafe. That's a lot slower. That's what VTOL engines do. Now, how does this apply to, let's say, combat maneuvering? We're trying to get around. We're trying to control your descent. Because let's say I am an idiot and I have got a mad case of the zoomies. And I'm going to boost at that ground. There's no way I can forward boost in time to avoid smashing into the ground. Hit K and boost up. Instant up. Same thing, but without engaging. And now I'm trying to boost up. Oh, almost didn't make it. These give you that extra bounce to pull up to keep yourself from dying like a dum-dum. Strafe down. And now up. Instant up. That's one use for the VTOL engines. Now, when you are flying around in your industrial ship and you're trying to mine or you're trying to hold your ship steady, VTOL engines are great. Here, I'm going to move up to this mountain here, come to a stop. Sometimes the area is windy, sometimes your ship is drifting, right? I'm kind of up and down. Engage the engines. Steady as a rock. Not all ships have this feature. See? Drifting, back, steady as a rock. So, now obviously when the main engines are pointed at the ground, your forward movements is super duper slow, darn near non-existent, but your ability to strafe up and boost up is insane. Not all ships have this feature. So I'm trying to drift. Now let's try to drift around fast. Kind of allows me to bank, move in unpredictable ways. Not a lot of people can understand just how unpredictable it makes your ship move. Oh crap, I'm going to hit the ground. LOL, no I'm not. Now if I tried regular strafe up, I'm boosting. I'm going to smash into the freaking ground if I don't do something. Now, I don't know if I'm illustrating this very well. Alright. It's useful. Alright. Let's head on out of here. Kind of does it for grabbing the footage. Let's turn on the music now, and let's get to running missions. Hopefully I've got enough footage to make something decent of a tutorial video out of it. So, there you have it. I'm going to try to use this footage and try to make those videos make sense. Wish me luck. out of Atmo at this rate, so let's speed up. Alright. Is that Everest Harbor? No, it isn't. Everest Harbor is on the other side of the planet. Let's switch out the ships. And guys, thanks for watching, thanks for bearing with me. I'm now going to go ahead and get to work with running missions and stuff. Alright, another streamer that I like to watch is streaming at the moment, but I will leave him in peace. Let him do his thing. He's happy, I'm happy. It would be rude to interrupt his show. Let him do his thing.
Quantum drive is now off.
Now, where is Everest Harbor? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. There it is. I recognize ya. Let's switch out the ships and get to doing some missions now.
Quantum drive is now on.
And let's go land my Cuddy.
Drive is now off.
Hopefully, this is a good explanation. That player got salty in the comments. Okay. It's like I have to wait my turn because there's other players in the area. Man, I hope another red player shows up. That would be great. It would help me clear up the queue so I can land sooner. But I now have some good footage for some basic tutorial videos. Now I have to cut and edit them and make them make sense. Oh, and I should probably stack all those extra grenades away. It was really nice of that guy to carry all those grenades in his ship for me to loot. That made my day. I like grenades. I like to see things go boom. He had a lot of grenades. Alright. I just have to be patient. Just have to wait now. I hate waiting. Hey, be honest, let me know in the comments if I actually got good material for decent tutorial videos I can make with this footage. Let me know if there's any kind of thing you want me to cover specifically if you have questions about. And I will happily record that footage and I'll start working on making some videos. Alright. I'm gonna play around. Oh, okay. Hangar's open. I was gonna start doing the Tokyo Drift around the station while I was waiting for my hangar. Because you can do a Tokyo Drift in a Cutlass. They're fast enough. It's actually pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. Go. Some good tutorial footage in the trusty cutlasses. The Cuddy Black and the Cuddy Red. I do have a bias for these kinds of ships. I will admit it. I do have a bias. Alright, let's power down. And let's rearm the ammunition. Totally worth it. Let's tuck her away. Let's get to some violence. So yeah, this can carry about 8 units of cargo. You can stack two SCUs on each side of this walkway and they'll lock in. Maybe more. I'll have to look it up. Alright. Let's go ahead and tuck away the Cutlass. Tuck away the extra goodies I got from that player. Thank you very much for the boom booms. Boom booms make me happy.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
So I will take the boom booms.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
Uh-huh. Let's manage the inventory while the ship is being tucked away. Okay. Move all, move all, move all. Okay. Ammo. And other. Uh-huh. Sustenance. Alright, got a couple drinks. And 17 grenades in reserve. Boom booms. I love the boom booms. Boom booms make me happy. Okay. Let's put the tractor beam tool on there. There we go. Now I have a little tractor beam. And I've got a med gun tractor beam and I've got my rifle. Sweet. That's really all I wanted to carry with me for now. Oh, Gallant rifle. I guess I'll pick up a Gallant since I have plenty of ammo for one. Yeah, got some custodian mags too. Let's sort them. Oh, that one's actually full. Those are not full. See, those are full. That's empty. Good to know. Uh-huh. Custodian mags. I'm just doing a little bit of... You always want to keep your inventory nice and organized. There we go. Keep your stuff neat and organized, otherwise you get buried under your own mess. And that's never fun. Yeah, alright. I'm good. Let's call up the Hornet.
Welcome to the ASOC.
Let's
vehicle
get to
retrieval
busting
system.
some targets.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Actually, no. Change of plans.
Bye.
Let's check my time. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and actually end this and maybe queue up another game. If I can't go to bed, I'll stream again with a different game. But now I've got the footage I need. That was the whole point of the stream, was just to grab footage.
Vehicle has been moved to hostilities.
We'll go and put the Hornet away. Yeah, I'm happy. I'll go ahead and quit the game, but I'm good right there. Got the footage I need. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for now. The purpose of the stream achieved. I've got footage to make helpful videos with. Let's hope my editing skills are better than they used to be. So until next time, happy gaming.